This is a comparison video between the Sofirn SC31 Pro and the Sofirn SC31T, and if you're deciding which one to get, make sure you watch this video. I'll show you the differences and just how they perform compared to one another. So let's firstly go through my general thoughts. So yeah, the SC31 Pro, I've had this for some time, and it's an Anduril 2 flashlight. It's a great flashlight, one of my favorite budget flashlights out there. It's just such great value for what you get. With Anduril, you can change the UI, customize it to whatever you want. So what I've done, I've actually set the step down temperature to 60 degrees Celsius, so you get some extra runtime on turbo. Light does get pretty hot, but I just like having that ability to go through and change it to whatever I want. You can also access some other interesting modes in there, different strobe modes. You can change the ceiling ramp, all kinds of things. Okay, SC31T comes with a simple UI, and it's not Anduril, but basically it just has like 4 step modes or a smooth ramping mode. It's got also the big difference, this tactical switch here on the back, which allows momentary switch on, okay, for easy access. So if you need a light that you have to turn on very, very quickly, access the brightest mode available, the SC31T is the one to go. I prefer the SC31T if I'm walking around at night, just because it has that added functionality, that added tactical tail switch there that you could potentially use as a self-defense device. And the SC31 Pro, basically you're going to have to press that side switch. Everything's operated. Of course, you can activate turbo, press hold to activate turbo, but it's a little bit finicky. This is more, I would say, as an EDC light, general purpose flashlight, okay, whereas this one, you can use it as a general purpose flashlight, but primarily it is a tactical flashlight. Overall construction is similar. I would say they're pretty much identical, apart from the tactical tail switch and the different driver in there. If you look underneath the head of the flashlight as well, pretty much identical. Smooth reflector with the SST 40 emitter in there, glass lens, the bezels are the same too, and yeah, basically very similar. Sofirn do both of these lights in Anduril and non-Anduril versions, and what that means is basically if you just want a simple UI, no mucking around, just simple modes in there, you can have both these lights in that, or you can have them in the Anduril option, which allows you to really customize the light. But it does annoy some people. It's not for everyone, especially for beginners just getting into lights. You may be looking for a light that's a bit more simple to use, okay? And the SC31T definitely has more of that simple UI in there. Basically turn it on, press and hold the button to increase and decrease the brightness of the flashlight, press 4 times, and yeah, you can just basically activate the different brightness modes in there. So it's much more easier to use than the SC31 Pro. But again, the SC31 Pro, it's Anduril, so you can also just enable simple mode on Anduril, and you can get pretty much the same thing if you want as well. Just a basic ramp up and down mode or step ramping mode. You can't access all the other things like voltage checks and temperature regulation, setting, things like that. So anyway, that's pretty much it. So let's cut over to the beam shots and see how both of these perform. Okay, I'm going to do a comparison of the SC31T versus the SC31 Pro. SC31T here on the left, SC31 Pro on the right. Just turn that one on turbo as well. So, I mean, really, the beams look similar, but I would say, hard to really say. Like they both throw almost very, very similar distances. I was going to say the SC31T maybe has a little edge, a very, very slight edge. But the beam profiles are pretty similar. But let's see what happens. I want to see when the step down comes for the SC31T, because I've got the SC31 Pro with Anduril 2, and I've set the step down temperature to
55 to 60 degrees Celsius. So I'm actually anticipating for the SC31T to step down faster. This is the SC31T, SC31 Pro. Both are performing pretty good at the moment. I don't think they've really stepped down at all at this stage. Let's go on this tree. Is there any difference? Not really. They're pretty similar, aren't they? I was so impressed with these little lights, these little Sofern lights. Just the performance versus what you pay for them. They're still going. And I mean, it's 11 degrees tonight here in Melbourne. I'd say both of the lights they're definitely getting hot. Definitely getting hot. The SC31 Pro feels a little bit warmer. Okay. But really, if you look at them side by side, okay, now I think, yeah, so this is what I was sort of expecting here. You've got the SC31T, just that little tree in the center, and SC31 Pro, and the Pro is throwing more now, so the Pro hasn't ramped down as much. So you really compare them. That's the SC31T, SC31 Pro. So look at that, the Pro is still going. Look at that, it's been well over 2 minutes. SC31T really ramped down to 20-something% of its output by now, probably. See there, the SC31 Pro still going strong, and I'm holding it underneath the head as well, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It's pretty, it's warm, but it's not uncomfortable to hold. Look at that. Turn that off again, turn that on. Okay, so you've got another run of turbo with SC31T. Maybe I can reactivate turbo again on the SC31 Pro. So that's the T, SC31T, SC31 Pro. Okay. SC31T, and that's the SC31 Pro. So really the beams look virtually identical. Yeah, virtually identical on turbo. But obviously with Anduril 2 you get the advantage of setting the step down temperature a little higher. And so that is how the SC31 Pro is winning out. But of course you don't get that nice tactical switch on the back, that momentary mode, but I have to say I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with both, but the SC31 Pro, if you want something that has good sustained output on the turbo mode, it's an excellent choice. Outperforms even the SC18, SC32, but I love the tactical version as well. For me, the tactical version is always the one that I'm interested in more. Just more into tactical lights, but it's good. As you can see, you can reactivate turbo again. A lot of other lights, they don't let you do that. You can have to wait for a fair bit, but they don't. Both of these lights don't feel hot. They're just warm to the touch. The heads are hot, but the rest of the light is fine. But definitely the SC31 Pro is significantly hotter, just due to the fact that I've set that step down temperature to 60 degrees Celsius.